presented by EA Sports. Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Richardson going right to the air. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And their coach told us the other day that they wanted to get him in a nice groove right out of the gate. And one way to do that, give him quick throws where he can get the ball out of his hand in a hurry, as he did there.
Second down and a yard. Now Richardson, he's going to keep it running right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a second and short. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down and inches. Here comes third and about a foot. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Here's Nix. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
A short one to the tight end, Troutman. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Right back to him on first down. He'll get this down to the 38.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now it's Nix. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Throwing Nix. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harvey. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Second down and 3. Back to the air with Nix.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harvey. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time. Now they get it to him a variety of ways, but you're right. They want to run their offense through him. I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now a give right side. It's Harvey. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
To throw is Nix.
And this is going to be incomplete.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. That's caught. It's Josh Downs. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Now it's Richardson.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Now Richardson.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
This will be taken in by Michael Pittman.
Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Nix to the air.
He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. Only a yard there, sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now a 3rd and 6. To throw, here's Nix. That is caught, and he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Takes it to about the 37.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Second and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. They'll keep it on the ground. Harvey trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. The Broncos on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey, and he will have a Broncos first down. At least it appears that way, and he got it by maybe the length of a football.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. He'll connect on the out route with Ingram. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
Off the play fake. Nix.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run the toss here with Taylor.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Richardson out of the shotgun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Here's Richardson to throw. This one completes Alec Pierce.
And he's taken down inside the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Throwing the out route and complete. That's Warren. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Richardson. He's got his man. It's Pierce.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
Richardson looking to throw this. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
Over the middle, hauled in by Pierce.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, the option to give to Taylor here.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here.
Richardson looking to throw.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor
From 4 yards out. And the Colts have taken the lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run. So much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Charles, you got to think the #1 goal here is ball security. Remember, last drive they coughed it up, then they allowed the touchdown, and now they're trailing on the scoreboard.
Boy, the way you described it makes me think that that one actually hurt them 3 times. The fumble cost them potential points. Then they watched their opponent get a touchdown off of the fumble. And 3rd, they lost the lead as a result. Really tough sequence right there. I don't think coaches have to remind them to hold on to the football. They've just got to find a way to get it done. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
40 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that 1st down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little buffing. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A short throw to Ingram, and he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Nix from the shotgun.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12.
After his fumble earlier, this rookie's making sure he hangs on to the ball this time around. Still don't want to see him taking these hits this often, or turnovers becoming a persistent problem. But you understand why he had to be careful there.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Indy set to go on offense once more. A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Richardson.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air, and defensively, they were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
From the shotgun, Richardson.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Broncos about set to go on offense.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here's Nix.
Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now it's Nix.
Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Throwing Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman.
2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. To throw is Nix.
Touchdown! 23 yards for the touchdown.
And the Broncos have retaken the lead.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Oh, a good return up past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And you figure, Charles, they have enough time here in the first half, more than a minute, to put a drive together, at least get them in position to try a field goal.
Yeah, they've got all 3 timeouts at their disposal, so I'm actually thinking bigger. With those 3 timeouts, that amount of time on the clock, I'm thinking about trying to get a touchdown and settle for a field goal.
And the Colts coming out now.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
Denver's offense now set to go.
And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Working out of the gun is Nix. That is caught by Vele.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 12 more yards for him there. It's a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Nix. Now they go screen. It's complete. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the 1st half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
He finds his man, complete. It's Harvey. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets him 8.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Back to throw again.
He'll get that complete to Vele.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll look to throw again. A short throw to Ingram. And with just 4 seconds left in this 1st half, a timeout called. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Colts about to go on offense one final time in this first half. 1 second, all that remains. A final shot before the half. Richardson. He'll get this one complete there to Pittman.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
They'll go play action with Nix. And this one complete again to Mims.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 4.
Up the middle they go. Harvey. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Here now, 3rd and a yard.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Off the play fake, here's Nix.
He finds his man, complete. It's Harvey. Just a gain of a couple there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Nix to the air.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
To throw, here's Nix.
He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Here's a 2nd down and 7 from the 37. Off the play fake, Nix. He finds his man, complete. It's Harvey. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
The kick by Lutz is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now an option play on 2nd down. Richardson hit it, he fumbles it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. Harvey, he'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey, and he'll go down at the 28. 2 straight runs of 5 yards, 1st and 10.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Back to throw now on first down. A short throw to Ingram. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. He targets Ingram for another grab. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix.
And he'll just get rid of it.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
From the gun on 3rd down, Nix. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll try to run this one in. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. He tried to get the nose of the football across to no avail, and now it's 3rd and goal. This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal.
They'll try again.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
So the 2nd down run didn't work. They run it again on 3rd down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite running play over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And able to get this out to the 25.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Over the middle, complete. It's Warren. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Now Richardson.
Connecting over the middle with Downs. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Off the option, here's Taylor. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Looking left sideline, incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Yeah, Richardson back to throw it.
And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Second and 7.
Up the middle they go. Harvey. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
92 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Finds his tight end, Ingram. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 12-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Evan Ingram, a 5-yard touchdown, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Richardson looking to throw this. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively. That's 2nd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Richardson. And a throw for Pittman is intercepted. Picked up by Riley Moss.
And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. On 1st down, it's Harvey. And he'll bring this one inside the 35.
128 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that +3.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Harvey.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
Here's Nix.
He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Nix.
He'll connect on the out route with Ingram.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. He's got the size, the hands.
The speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Nix from the shotgun.
He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. So he stopped for no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. For the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead. Nightmare of a game continues for this quarterback, brought down with the game already decided. This sack adds insult to injury for him. Multiple turnovers, down by multiple touchdowns, now dumped early in a drive in the final quarter.
Throwing on 2nd and long.
Richardson.
And he's going to go down again.
Alex Singleton making the play defensively.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front 7, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Now this taken in by Downs.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Colts first down, and that was something else. A big pickup on 4th and long to give him a new set of downs.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Richardson working from the gun. That complete to Downs.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Richardson looking to throw. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Again, it's Richardson. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 22-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
From the shotgun, Richardson.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Richardson out of the shotgun. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Back to the air with Richardson.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns them there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now down to 20. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Just all around a solid performance, and now they've got the 3-score lead here, Charles, so the final seconds of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, in this one, they've been in control, haven't they? They've earned this victory. No question who the better team was out there in this game. And frankly, the score could have been a lot worse than it was. Give them a lot of credit for how they played in this one.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up, stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Indy.